So here I am just moving Lucy around. She's not long been saddled, and I'm just going to get her thinking about going confidently out in front of me, just as I'm going to when I'm riding her. So here we are on a weave pattern, and you'll notice just about here she starts to spook at something over in the corner. And instead of her running over me, I just blocked her with the stick and then said, hey, let's be curious and go as close as you can manage so you can take a look. And when she hits that threshold where she just can't go any further, we just wait. That didn't take too long, and then she was able to walk on past easily. So here we are, just about to play the touch it game here with the barrel. So getting her mentally engaged, looking for the obstacle. We do that throughout our online session in preparation for riding as well. So now we're backing up and just seeing, can she back up without being locked up? With that girth being an issue for her sometimes, backing will always let me know if she's really feeling tight about the girth mentally. And she was able to come back nice and straight. So now I'm going to ask her to go up into the trot in a little bit. Just going to check out, is she able to yield her hindquarters and move her front end over, and then go around me. We call this the swirl and twirl. And she's picked up a nice relaxed trot straight away, and what I'm aiming to get here is for her to really relax her top line. Lucy's been very, very tight in her back, and she's been having some body work and massage, which is really helping her. So my aim when we're warming up online is to always get her to relax and stretch and get more rhythm and relaxation in her gait, instead of being tight and impulsive and rushing. We start to see that nice stretching happening now. She's really seeking that herself. She's realizing it's a good place to be. And then it's also important that I can say, come to me. And she doesn't take that personally, which she did nicely there. So now I give her a little bit more length on the line to test everything. And I'm standing fairly neutral now. And I'm saying, are you able to just maintain gait and rhythm and relaxation? And I was really pleased. She had the belly of the rope on the ground, which indicates that she is not thinking about leaving, and she's more mentally connected. You'll see as she goes to the right, she's looking out to the left a little, and this has been part of why we've been having body work with her, because she is really, really stiff on this, especially the upper neck and through her lower back. She seems to find going to the right a little bit more challenging. But I was really excited that she went into the canter here and did not think about getting tight and bronching, which she has been doing with the saddle on. So this was really, really nice, and that we had no tension there to cause that to happen. So really happy. And this is interesting, as she's coming towards me here, she's still a little bit apprehensive. And I put my hand out. She does not want me to touch her face, so I don't push it. I just wait and even retreat. And then when she's ready, she comes and connects to me. And that's just important to notice. When your horse doesn't want you to touch their face, they're saying something, and we need to back off. She just had that little bit of tension having been cantering. So now we go off to the left, which is her easier way. And she goes into that pretty nicely, and even starting to try to relax her neck down below her wither at the canter. It was a little bit rushed, but considering how she's been, this is real progress. And a really nice stop when I looked at her hindquarters and invited her in. So a big green light if she can canter online without any bucking, and the belly of the rope on the ground. All of those things give me a green light that she's rideable. And if things feel good at the trot riding, I even started thinking I might suggest canter under saddle for the first time today. It's really, really important to me to teach all young horses to stand still when they're mounted, and she does that nicely. And just hurry up and go nowhere. Just a little bit of lateral flexion on either side to check out, is she yielding to pressure from the halter? Can we have a relaxed, neutral, lateral bend in her neck, and can she stay there softly without moving her feet? And you'll notice I have a stick in my hand. Lucy's just started with a little bit of stick riding to really emphasize moving from my body. And it was also, when I'm riding young horses, I really like to carry a stick so that if they do get heavy, I can promptly suggest they get off the weight of the rein and become light. I don't want to get into a pulling match if she's leaning or pushing through pressure, so having a stick to guide her and help her to stay soft to the rein is a really good thing to have when you need it. She was a little bit slow to stop here. She's just moving her feet. And we just wait for her to relax a little bit in that lateral flexion. So I always start off being able to do lateral flexion standing still, and then I want to be able to walk off and then bend to a stop. If I can do that in a relaxed way and then yield those hindquarters away and walk off again, and then I can go on up into the trot and bend to a stop from trot and so on. So I'm using my headlights on my eyes and shoulders. My hands, my knees and my toes are all heading in the direction I want her to go in. And she can feel that in, through my whole body. And this is how I get her to have a good seat connection and follow my focus with very little rein pressure at all to have her follow that. And you can see I started off on the weave pattern again, just like we did on the ground. Lots of little soft turns, and I'm using my inside leg slightly as I turn my foot in the direction I want to go, like I've got a ski on my foot. That inside ski turns and my calf just gently touches her side, which tells her to bend around that. She's following the rein really lightly. But my body is always coming first, so I will be using my focus with all of my headlights, and then if she needs encouragement to follow that, then I'll pick up the rein. And I'll correct her with the rein, and then I'll go back to neutral with the rein. I haven't been riding Lucy in any contact. She's not currently mouthed at this point. So all of our work is in the hackamore. Once she's really soft and light with no opposition reflex in the hackamore, then we can go ahead and start introducing the snaffle. A nice bend to a stop there, and she's pretty soft too. So now I go to holding the reins in one hand and just guiding her with the stick. So now it's just my body and the stick is following up my body rather than the rein. If I really need to use the rein, I will use it to help her if she's confused. But she's only done maybe 3 sessions with a little bit of stick riding like this, so this is pretty new. Certainly haven't done it much at the trot, it's mainly been at the walk. So that would be preparation to where later on down the track in her foundation she would be able to be ridden reinless or bridleless and still be able to follow the body. And while Lucy's still trying to find her balance with a saddle and a rider on her back, I'm not concerned about the frame that she's in at all. When she gets really relaxed and balanced, because she's calm and trusting and confident, then she'll naturally start to shape her body, and then that's when I can start working with a little bit more contact and encourage her to have more flexion. So she's actually starting to come off that stick at trot pretty well through the weave here. I was really pleased with it. And again, you can still see that going to the right she finds challenging. You can see her head sort of tilts on a funny angle. And a nice bend to a stop there. Using the rein, she wasn't ready to do it just from a stick. That would be a wee bit too much to ask at this point in her training. So I was feeling pretty good about the trot and how relaxed she was at this point, so I was thinking in my mind, today might be the day that we give it a try for her first canter under saddle, considering she'd warmed up really nicely online. So without doing smaller circles now, I went off to do some yielding, some backing up, just to check all of those things were working. And some trotting a little faster in straighter lines around the perimeter of the paddock here. It's a nice little back up. She gets a little bit stuck there, but I just wait until she's back into a better frame and then give. When she's light, so when I'm starting to ask a young horse to canter for the first time, it's really important I don't squeeze or put too much pressure on. What I want to do is cause them to want to canter. And so I start thinking about the numbers of the trot. So what we talk about is, the slowest trot would be a 1, a little bit quicker would be a 2, and then a really active trot would be a 3, and then a really freely forward trot would be a 4. And if I can get her into a 4 trot, where she's relatively relaxed, she's not rushing and impulsive and tight, if I can get her into a 4 where she's freely forward, then all I have to do is change gait in my body, and usually they'll follow you straight into the canter. So that's my plan here. I start going around here, and you can start to see she's sort of thinking about it, and I'm kind of thinking canter in my body, and then pretty soon she blows out, she's starting to feel relaxed, and she pops into it. So that was really awesome for her. And of course I made a big fuss of her and ended the session straight after that to make a big impact that she'd done a great thing, and she got full release by ending the session after her first canter under saddle.
Very good, little Lucy. Hey, what a good girl. First canter. Pretty good. Good girl. You feel proud of yourself.